Hello friends, I welcome you all from HLTF Tech channel, and today we will see that how SharePoint creates and interacts with its database. The first of all we should know that the SharePoint doesn't save any data in itself. It always save all of its data in the database server. You may have only one database server, or you may have multiple databases server for your SharePoint application. It depends upon your requirement. In my upcoming videos I will also tell you how we can have multiple databases with one SharePoint application. So first thing to note that is whenever we install a new SharePoint, or the some databases are created in Microsoft SQL Server, and they are by default it is named as SharePoint underscore config. This is the database in SQL Server in which all the settings of SharePoint application is saved. And whenever you install new SharePoint servers, that is your cache server, it may be your distributed cache server, it may be your search server, it may be your front end server, or it may be your application server depending upon your requirement. I have briefly detailed describe all of these type of server in my previous videos. You can just go to my channel and watch these videos. So this is not the scope of my current video. Right now I'm going to tell you that whenever the SharePoint application is created, uh, in the database server, a new database is created that is named as SharePoint underscore config, in which it saves all the settings of its uh, server farm. Okay. In next step, what it do, it create the content database. If we see about content database, what is content database? All the websites that the SharePoint that are created in the SharePoint are created in content database. Okay. By default it has WSS underscore content underscore uh, depending upon your name. This is the by default pattern of SharePoint, in which it saves its data of websites. Okay. So whenever new websites are created, new database is created in SQL Server, and then we will see that how many site collection limits are there per database. It vary with respect to your environment. I'm going to tell you soon in this video. So let's start. First of all, I told you that whenever a SharePoint application is created, in the database server a new database is created. If we look into my SharePoint application, this is my SharePoint application server. I'm going into central admin and I'm going to run it as an administrator. After adding the credentials, you will see that a new central administration page of SharePoint has appeared. So this is the application, or this is the web interface of the application of my SharePoint central administration. Keep it in mind, it's not a website for the users. It's the website for the administrator, through which the SharePoint administrator can create websites for the users. He can also configure many settings of the server farm. Uh, this is not the scope of my video, but in my previous videos and as well as in my upcoming videos I'm going to cover all of them. So first of all, let me tell you that all this application, all the settings of this central admin page are saved in a database that is named as SharePoint underscore config. This SharePoint underscore config DB is created when at the time of the creation of SharePoint application. So if we go into the database server and navigate to SQL Server engine, you will see that SharePoint underscore config database will be there. So let me show you. This is my database server, and if I go into the databases, you will notice that SharePoint underscore config database is created by default by the SharePoint itself. As a best practice, it is not recommended that you change any settings of this database because it is being managed by the SharePoint application. So all the settings of the database are here. Similarly, it's also create one more database, that is SharePoint admin content with its random serial number. So these both databases are meant for the application server, and they save all the settings, and they are responsible for all the operations of the SharePoint server farm. So the second thing is that what is content database. Now in first step, the application was created. In SQL Server, a new SharePoint config database was created. Now it's the time to create a new content database in which the website data will be saved. So if we go into the central admin and go into the manage content database, you will notice that there is one database that has already been created. And in this database, if I click on this database, you can see that it is in the database server DB. Its name is this one and it's ready. I can also change it to offline, and it's also giving me some of other details as well, but I am not interested in these details right now. I'm going to verify that this database appears in my database server. So what I'm going to do, I'm going into database server. Okay, fine. This was my database server. If I double verify it, it is HLTF website. This is HLTF website database. Okay. So this database was created by default at the time of creation of the web application. So whenever you create a new web application or a new website, which I have already created, this one is the website. At that time, it saves all the settings of its database in the content databases. We can also verify it if we go into the application management and see view all site collections. Here it's showing me that this is the website and these are 3 site collections. I have created 3 site collections in a website, and in these site collections you can see that all of these site collections are reside in the database of this one. If I go and change the web application and go into central admin, you will notice that this website, that is the website which I have just opened in my web browser. All the settings of these websites are saved in this database, that is this one. Okay, I have already told you that all the database, all the application settings of SharePoint are saved in these 2 databases. But if we go to the websites, if we go into the creation of websites, then all the data is created in the databases of this prefix, that is WSS underscore content underscore. This name is also changeable. You can edit it as per your requirement, but we recommend you that you keep this prefix as it is, and after this underscore you can change it as per your requirement. So all the SharePoint websites are created in new databases in existing SQL Server. I have already told you. If I navigate to another application, that is this one, you will notice that it exists in this one. Okay, so this database is created here. Fine. After that, we will see that how many site collection limits are there per database. If we go into manage content databases, you will see that it is showing that current number of site collections are these, site collection level warning is this, and maximum number of site collections that you can create in one database is 5000 site collections. So this shows that in one database you can save up to 5000 site collections. What are site collections? I have already defined in my previous videos. Site collections are a group of sites, is a site for a group of people. For example, if you have three departments in your organization, one department is human resource, the second one is finance, and the third one is logistic department or any other department, then you create separate site collections because all of these user groups have a separate territory or separate area of work, or you can say separate work area. So in one database you can create site collection 5000 site collections, but the thing to remember here is that it depends there is a limitation which you always know got to know when you have practical experience, that is about the data. For example, as a best practice, each database supports up to maximum 200 GB or 100 to 200 GB data in one database. So if you have 5000 site collections, and in each site collection if there is a data of 10 GB, so it means that the total database size will be 50,000 GB. Okay, so this will create some problem, that is, I have already told you that each database can support up to maximum 100 to 200 GB data. If you want to keep optimal performance, then you must keep or must limit the database size up to 100 GB. You can do so by applying quotas. I will tell you about quotas in my later videos, but uh, keep it in mind that you have to limit the size of your database for, if you want an optimal performance, a best performance, then you must restrict it to 100 GB. Otherwise you may increase the size of data in the database up to 200 GB maximum. After that, the read write operations become expensive. Okay, when because in future you also need search service, you also configure search engines. So after 200 GB, just your database becomes quite expensive to, and you will notice that your application performance is degrading at a noticeable level. So uh, at that time we always recommend, or Microsoft SharePoint also always recommend, that you create an additional database and you create new site collections in new content database, so that your uh, database size must not increase up to maximum 200 GB. So this was all about my current video. In my upcoming video I am going to demonstrate how you can add a new content database and how you can create new site collections in new databases. So keep watching my videos, and also guys, I request you to subscribe my channel. I thank you all for watching this video.